technologies like products like IBM Message Broker, MQ series, and data power stuff. So yeah, this is my background. Basically, I'm a Java guy, and having middleware technologies.
Okay.
And yeah, and right now I just want to looking for a Hadoop because just Hadoop development I'm explicitly looking into it.
Okay. So, Vimal.
Yeah, Jitin.
Okay, fine, not so okay. Because I had some technical issue that's reason I got that. So, Animesh, myself, I'm Jitin. So, I'm going to be your technical trainer for Hadoop technology. So,
Okay.
regarding my career, have been worked into so many organizations like Thomson Reuters Private Limited, Isosoft Private Limited, now Sheet4Tech, IBM India. Currently, I'm associated with Flytex. So, I have been into big data technology and analytics throughout my career. Currently, I'm taking the role of a senior engineer for big data products, a company called Flytex Private Limited. So, this is all about myself.
Okay.
We'll get into the data. So, Hamish, as you're a Java developer, it's going to be very easy for you to, like going to Hadoop technology is very easy for you. First, let me share you a few things like, what you know about big data, what you think that, you might have gone through Google and so many things, right?
Yeah, correct.
So, what you think, what is big data? Why do you need big data? Your assumption, I just want to know what you know.
Yeah. It is, if you take it very straightforward, it is also again a data, but when you deal with the big, huge data, this technology come into picture. Because the one what we are using currently, most of the applications we are using RDBMS stuff, right, which cannot deal with huge data, then people will go for the big data. This is what I know. And other than that, what I know is structured and unstructured data. What we are seeing in daily projects in structured data, which we are dealing with. But unstructured data, when it comes, we need different technologies which can deal with this unstructured data. For that, this big data concept is coming into picture.
Okay. So before getting into big data, let me tell you a few things like, by the way, Animesh, if you have any queries, let me know. In middle, you can just submit. Okay?
Sure. So,
before getting into big data, let me tell you what is data. Data, in the sense, it can be any valuable information. The valuable information can be of any type. It may be, if you take your day-to-day activity, your license, your mobile number, the SMS that you send to your colleagues, everything are data, and it is very valuable, right?
Yeah.
So these information are called as data. Now the thing is big data, as the name suggests, huge amount of data. It's like data in the sense it can be of any type. It might be your data of birth, your mark statement, or whatever it is. All the valuable information are considered as data. Okay. Now the thing is like the traditional methodology, what we are doing, traditionally, once we get the data, for example, it might be from any resource, even it might be from, mobile, or it might be from your documents or whatever it is. Officially also, whatever the documents you are having, you are storing it in the servers, right? From servers, we are accessing the data. So it has a limitation. For example, if your server capacity is 10 GB, it can only accommodate 10 GB. Even, it cannot extend, or elasticity is not possible for servers. So that is what the traditional technology, what we call the traditional methodology, where we put on the data into servers. From servers, we are accessing the data. Now the problem here is servers. So once, for example, think, every day we are getting so many clients, right? For every organization, they are getting new clients, and the documents and whatever the data what we require, the size of the data is also increasing day by day. And once the size of the data increase, of course, we need to increase the size of the servers. To increase the size of the servers, we are getting new servers, and we are putting these data into that server. Now the problem comes here is, once you get new servers, the cost of the servers is going to be very huge, because every time you have to buy new servers. Once the data size increases, you have to get a new server. So cost is very high. If there are 10 servers, you need to appoint a resource to monitor or to maintain the servers. So again, the human resource need is increasing, and we will get technical issues like file corruption or data loss. These things will happen in servers. So this is the traditional technology which we are following right now. So now comes the big data. So consider, I am giving a real-time scenario. Consider Facebook. It is, it is estimated that 950 million of users around the world are using Facebook. It might be a person might be having one account, or it might be two accounts, or whatever it is. It's considered 950 million of users are using Facebook every day. And per user, for example, one user is generating around 10 KB of data per day. One particular person, for example, it might be me, or it might be you, or it might be women, whoever it is, they are generating 10 KB of data per day. Now calculate for 1000 users, they are going to generate 10 MB of data per day. Okay. Now consider for 1 million of users. 1 million of users are going to generate around 10 GB of data per day. 10 GB of data per day by 1 million users. Now think about this 950 million of users. This 950 million of users are going to generate around 9.5 TB of data per day. This was the thing, this is what the data size is. So it might be, it can increase or it can decrease. It's up to the network what we use for. It's just an example for Facebook. We don't have only Facebook. We have Twitter. We have so many concepts like even if you go for government officers, the records. The banking, if you go for banking, the transaction, whatever you do, that records. If you go for SMS, or your mobile numbers can be tracked in the database in the telecom sector. These data are considered also as data. So to store these data, the traditional methodology what we are following now is we are putting all those data into a server. From there we are accessing. That is the traditional methodology where we are what we are using now. And the problem here is once the data size increases, we have to get new servers, we have to recruit new resources, we have to, technical issues will come out from the server. These are the various issues which we are, finding in the traditional technology. So when finding these issues, there is a person called Sanjay Gemawat from Google. He found a similar issue. Every day these many amount of data are generated from different, different sectors, and we are storing this in different servers and processing, time consuming, everything. He found it out. So he introduced, technically he did some researches and he produced 2 papers. One is called GFS. GFS is nothing but Google File System, and the other paper is called MRF, that is MapReduce Framework. So the first one, GFS, Google Framework File System. Google File System is completely meant for storage, where MapReduce Framework is completely meant for processing. So instead of storing the data in the server, he found a new concept where we are going to put all the information in the cloud. The concept here is cloud. From cloud we are going to access the information and we are going to process it. So for that he introduced concept like the paper he found was GFS, Google File System, and MRF, that is the MapReduce Framework for processing. So what happened is once he produced the paper, there were 2 persons called Daksati and Kefrila from Yahoo. They overcome this paper, this is a huge process where we cannot do so many things. So he come up with one single paper. He combined both the concepts Google File System and MapReduce Framework, and he introduced a paper called Nudge. Nudge is nothing but he gave the name Nudge because of his wife. His wife's name is Nudge, so he has given the name of Nudge for this paper. He generated a paper called Nudge. That's a combination of both GFS and MRF. So when it got introduced to the market, it has been introduced as Hadoop. How this name Hadoop comes to the picture is Duck Cutting's son was playing with a toy elephant, which was in a yellowish color. So this is something you should call this toy elephant as Hadoop. That's how